Good evening and welcome to Marion, Illinois, as the Evansville Otters, the first place and Frontier League leading Evansville Otters, take on the Southern Illinois Miners in the middle game of a three-game weekend set between the two West Division rivals. My name is Ryan Brown, joining you over the Otters Digital Network, welcoming you into the booth here at Rent One Park, as we are just about set for 6:05 baseball. Friday night went well for the Otters. They won by a score of 14-4, 10-run ruling their West Division rivals, the Miners, in a sense, last night, and they look to win the series this evening and secure a winning six-game road trip after taking 2 of 3 in Joliet to start the six-game away venture. Once again, my name is Ryan Brown, welcoming you into the booth on the Evansville Otters pregame show, as we will give you a rundown of what will be slated for tonight's action, as well as going over that 14-4 ball game last night. We will also hear from the Otters second baseman, and tonight getting somewhat of a night off by getting to DH in the number 3 spot. We'll be talking with J.R. Davis, who hit a big grand slam in the top of the 5th inning last night and currently sits third in the league in hitting. He's been on base for 11 games in a row and has driven in over 10 RBIs in his last 10 games. He is second best on the club with 25 ribbies. So we'll get to talk with J.R. Davis in just a moment, but first we will turn to a recap of last night's action when we return on the Otters Digital Network on YouTube Live.
CenterPoint Energy's newest generation of safe, efficient energy includes capturing and harnessing the natural power of pure sunshine. We are increasing solar in our balanced and reliable energy mix as we power our region with more clean, renewable energy. We're bringing a little piece of the sun to every home and business while reducing carbon emissions and helping create a cleaner environment. It's just a little something for your smart energy future.
Welcome back to Marion, Illinois, getting ready for the 28th game of the Evansville Otters 2021 Frontier League regular season. The first place team in the West Division and Frontier League leading Evansville Otters taking on the 13-4 Southern Illinois Miners after the Otters were able to come away with a victory last night by a score of 14-4. My name is Ryan Brown, joining me in the booth here tonight as we will go through a recap of last night's action here on the Evansville Otters pregame show before getting a chance to sit down and chat with the Otters second baseman and designated hitter, J.R. Davis, who hit a grand slam in the ball game last night. Well, last night it was the Evansville Otters who became the first Frontier League team to win 20 games in the 2021 regular season as they slugged their way to that 14-4 victory over Southern Illinois from Rent One Park here in Marion. The Otters tagged Miners starter Michael Austin for 2 runs in the top of the first. Only the second and third earned runs scored off the hard-throwing righty to that point in the season. Entering play, he had only given up 1 earned run and was the reigning Frontier League Pitcher of the Week. In his last full start, Michael Austin had thrown a 7-inning no-hitter against the Lake Erie Crushers. Well, he would have different fortunes against Evansville as early as that top of the first when J.R. Davis, who again we'll speak to on our pregame show in just a moment, began a two-out rally with a base hit, followed by a double from first baseman and cleanup batter in the Otters order, Riley Crane. And that set the table for Elijah Big Hit McNamee. McNamee, in that run-scoring opportunity, smacked a two-out, two-run single to center field that gave the Otters their first runs of the night. The Otters would add 4 more in the top of the third when they sent all 9 batters to the plate. After Riley Crane singled home Andy DeJesus, Elijah McNamee would collect his 3rd and 4th RBIs of the evening on a 2-run triple to left center field. Bryce Denton capped off the scoring in the frame with a 2-out double that scored McNamee from third. At that point, the score was then 6-0. And after scoring 6 runs through the first 3 innings, the Otters, with that offensive outburst, had thus scored 6 or more runs through the first 3 innings in back-to-back games, going to the getaway ball game in Joliet on Thursday night. Evansville would add 3 more runs to their tally in the top of the 4th, thanks to a sacrifice fly from Riley Crane and a 2-out RBI single from Dakota Phillips. Elijah McNamee, he also scored in that inning on a wild pitch. The Otters then led 9-0. Still hungry at the plate, the Otters sent J.R. Davis to bat with the bases loaded in the top of the 5th. He delivered the killing blow when he clobbered a grand slam to left field, and the Otters extended their lead 13-0. The Miners, they would break into the run column with a 2-out run-scoring single from Anthony Bricado off of Otters starter Polo Portela in the bottom of the 5th. Portela would allow another 3 runs to score in the bottom of the 6th, but he managed to work through the inning, turning in a strong 6-inning start and leaving his team with a 9-run lead as the Otters led 13-4 after 6. Justin Lewis would come on in the top of the 7th to replace Polo Portela and would go on to earn the 9-out save, his first of the season and his first since 2018, by pitching a scoreless back third of the ballgame. Portela earned his 3rd win of the season, while the Miners' Michael Austin took his first loss with Southern Illinois. That would be his 2nd losing decision of the season, going back to his time with the Washington Wild Things. The Otters also improved to 6-0 in starts in which Polo Portela first took the mound. And so that brings us to the ball game tonight, set for a 6:05 first pitch. Managers meeting with the umpiring crew right now around home plate. And we are getting ready for more 2021 Frontier League regular season baseball. Again, it's the Otters going up against the Southern Illinois Miners. The Otters looking for their 21st victory of the season. In the hopes of achieving that feat, they will turn to rookie right-hander Ryan O'Reilly. They are breaking glass in case of necessity as they are freshly unwrapping the package. Ryan O'Reilly just signed today. He will be making his professional debut tonight out of the Northwoods League, where he made 1 appearance last Sunday for the Rockford Rivets. Overall, in his collegiate career, Ryan O'Reilly hails from the University of Illinois Chicago, having earned a 4-5 record in 2021 with a 6.09 earned run average through 13 starts. O'Reilly, the Makina, Illinois native, he will be taking the mound for the Otters again in his professional debut. On the other side of the diamond, in the Southern Illinois Miners dugout, they will be counting on the southpaw Gunnar Kynes, who is making what will be his 5th start of the campaign tonight for the Miners. Kynes, the longtime Schaumburg Boomer, in his 5th season in professional baseball and the Frontier League. He enters play with a 0-1 record and a .517 earned run average. A good deal of that earned run average floating upwards, up above the 5-run mark, thanks to a poor performance his last time on the mound when he lasted just 1 inning in a start on Sunday, June 20th against the Schaumburg Boomers in which he gave up 6 hits, 6 runs, all in just 1 inning of work. He also allowed 2 long balls. So Gunnar Kynes looking to rebound as Ryan O'Reilly, the right-hander for the Otters making his professional debut, will be looking to continue a train of really phenomenal Otters pitching performances from young righties and right-handers making their major league debuts. If you consider who they have had to pick up out of the bullpen, and Tim Holdgraver, also Austin Gossman, and then turning away from right-handed pitching to the southpaw Braden Scott, who made his major league debut last Thursday night in Joliet, going 7 innings, striking out 10 batters while walking 2 and allowing 2 hits. Now we will go ahead and turn things over to our pre-game interview with J.R. Davis, who will be batting third tonight and who hit a grand slam in the ball game last night. So we will get to hear from him in our pre-game interview. You're listening to the Evansville Otters pre-game show. Getting a chance to talk with Otters second baseman, designated hitter J.R. Davis, coming off a nice night at the plate, 2 for 6 with a grand slam mixed in, your 4th home run of the year. J.R., you're coming into this one third in the league in hitting. You've been there for quite a while now, up in that top 5, that top 3. How do you feel at the plate?
Feel good. I'm just taking it one day at a time, not trying to do too much with my at-bats. First things first, get a good pitch, and, I'm just trying to stay short and through the ball. That's it. Not trying to do too much.
How about that granny last night? You crushed that thing out to deep left field. What did you get a hold of there, and what was the approach at the plate?
The guy was throwing pretty hard, like 95, 96. So I literally went into the mindset of just getting my front foot down and just not trying to do much with it, because I know he's going to supply the power. And if I try to get too big, I might swing hard, swing through it, and, not get all of it. So I just wanted to get a pitch that was elevated so I can, just do a job, get my guys in. And so happily it went over the wall.
JR, you've really taken a liking to this number 3 hole. You've been moved into that 3 spot in the batting order. How do you feel? It looks like you're comfortable right there in the lineup.
Oh, yeah. Well, wherever I'm at in the lineup, I'll feel comfortable, just trying to do jobs and, win ball games. That's all I'm trying to do, really, So it's a selfless approach, and I'm not trying to do too much. All the, numbers and accolades that come with it is good, but all I care about is winning. That's it.
Talking about all you care about is winning. A great approach, especially on a club that is the first in the Frontier League to 20 wins. Your first season in Evansville, JR, your first opportunity to work with Andy McCauley, the skipper here, along with hitting coach Bobby Siegel. What's that experience been like?
It's been a blessing, man. Just having all the guys around, first everybody in the clubhouse is good guys first, and then good ball players as well. So the chemistry just starts in the locker room, and then, when you got the leadership from Andy and then Bobby and then all the guys, Boots, and, everybody, it's a team effort always, it's like a family atmosphere. So, I'm a family-oriented person, so, it came and it just gelled right in. So, with all the guys that do good, on the field and then off the field, guys are even better dudes, like I said before. So, it's just pretty easy to gel with those guys and have good chemistry when you're around good people. So,
yeah. JR, last question for you. I got to ask, a couple of weeks ago between Schaumburg and Florence, you went 10 for 10 at the plate. 10 straight at bats, you collected a base hit.
Yeah.
That's one of the more wilder things we've gotten to see in who knows how long. Talk about that experience.
That was crazy. I can't really put it into words on like what happened. It was really just going up there. Like I said, not trying to do too much, sticking to my approach, staying up the middle. Just getting whatever the pitcher gives me and not trying to do too much with it. So yeah, that was crazy. That's honestly just a blessing just to be able to do that. It was wild. Felt good. Doing that, in my mindset, it's never changed. I'm just trying to get 1% better each and every day. That's it. The most important at bat is the next one, so I try to turn the page pretty fast.
JR, thank you so much and good luck tonight.
Oh yeah, no problem. Thank you.
Special thanks to J.R. Davis for taking the time to sit down with us on our Evansville Otters pregame show, talking about his hot hitting at the plate and the Evansville Otters, what some might consider the best offense in the Frontier League yet. Thus far in the season, definitely the hottest team early on, as they are the first to reach 20 wins. With a win last night, they have a 20-7 record going up against the Southern Illinois Miners tonight, who boast a record of 13-14. Again, these first-place Evansville Otters in the West Division, the best record overall in the Frontier League. The Southern Illinois Miners have taken the field here at Rent One Park in Marion, Illinois. My name is Ryan Brown. Thank you so much for joining me for the next 9 innings of Evansville Otters baseball. To get things going, they will turn to a lineup that consists of the following. Miles Gordon leads off. He bats left-handed, plays in center field. He'll be followed by the switch-hitting shortstop, Andy DeJesus. Batting third, J.R. Davis, who spoke with us in our Evansville Otters pregame show and hit a grand slam last night. He will hit third. And right behind him, Riley Crane, the left-handed hitting first baseman and cleanup batter, bats fourth. Elijah McNamee, the right fielder, will hit fifth. And in the sixth spot, Bryce Denton, playing in left field. 7, 8, 9 will be Andrew Penner, the second baseman, Christopher Pujols, the third baseman, and catching and batting in the ninth spot, Justin Felix. All three of those righties, they're going up against the left-handed hurling Gunnar Kynes. First pitch to Miles Gordon. Misses high for ball one. 6:08. First pitch officially here at Rent One Park in Marion, Illinois. 88 degrees and sunny. Game time temperature. The 1-0 fastball hummed in there around 86, 87 miles per hour. 1 ball and 1 strike on the Otters' leadoff batter, Miles Gordon, who was on base 3 times last night. Swings through a changeup there. 1-2. Gordon walked twice and singled in the 6th inning in a ball game that the Otters won by a score of 14-4. The 1-2. That pitch floats high. Count even now on Gordon. Former Cincinnati Reds farmhand going up against the longtime Schaumburg Boomer, left-hander Gunnar Kynes. The wind and the 2-2. That misses outside. Count has run full on Gordon, who in the top of the order always puts together a nice little battle. Always particularly good at working the count full. 3-2, ground ball to the right side. The second baseman, Craig Massey, has it, and a little bit of a low throw, but Luke Mangieri able to handle it in the turf. Let's take a look at the Southern Illinois Miners defensive alignment. Jared Mang is in left, Anthony Bricado in center, and Nolan Early out in right. That's the Miners outfield. Around the horn, Ian Walters, Yeltsin Gudinho, Craig Massey, and Luke Mangieri. And catching Gunnar Kynes is Marshall Rich. Andy DeJesus stands in, bats from the right side. The first pitch to him stands him up. Fastball missing in. 1-0. Kynes had a rough outing in his last go of it. That came last Sunday against the Schaumburg Boomers. He lasted just an inning, giving up 6 runs. 1-0, cut on and missed. An aggressive hack from DeJesus. He comes up empty, 1-1. DeJesus, he's collected plenty of base hits this season. He's also played in plenty of games. He's been productive as he rolls this one foul of third. DeJesus, the 5th most hits collected in the Frontier League. 36 base knocks for him so far this season on a club that has recorded more base knocks than anyone else. As the 1-2 fastball, 87, says the radar gun here at Rent One Park. That misses upstairs. Count 2-2 on the Otters shortstop, Andy DeJesus. The 2-2 likewise misses high, right above the letters. The Otters in their road grays. Miners wearing black jersey tops. Gunnar Kynes with the long sock look. He works off the left side of the mound. It looks like he might have slipped a little bit on that delivery with his plant leg. It was an off-speed pitch. It was up in the zone. It was fouled back by DeJesus. First two batters in the Otters lineup going full on Kynes. Another 3-2 home, and this is hit out toward left center field. That will fall for a base hit. Andy DeJesus. There is his 37th hit of the season. And it brings up J.R. Davis. Davis, who we spoke to in our pregame show, talking about when he goes to the plate, he's always just trying to do his job. It's not about him from his mindset. It's about winning. He says, all I care about is winning. And what a phenomenal mindset for a ball player. First pitch off speed. That's called a strike on Davis. Because I think you'll agree with me that it seems watching Major League Baseball and maybe some other affiliated leagues, and I'm sure there's some guys in the Frontier League who feel the same way. Luckily, not too many of those on the Otters roster, if there are any, who are ball players with a me mentality. That does not apply to J.R. Davis, and usually the best of the best. A little looper out towards short. That is bobbled, and I believe they might have went and called an infield fly. And the reason why we might say that, it was a little soft looper. You could call it perhaps a soft liner out to the shortstop, Yeltsin Gudino. He let it pop out of his glove. And upon doing so, J.R. Davis, who had not made it all the way to first base at this point, if it was not a pop fly, you'd think Gudino would have raced quicker to the second base bag, getting the easy out of DeJesus at first, and then throwing on to first. As a throw over here, DeJesus back safely and standing. Then a throw over to first might have gotten J.R. Davis. So scored a pop out to the shortstop. It brings up Riley Crane. Crane, showing bunt, takes the first pitch he sees for a strike. Up and away. Crane, one of the most productive hitters in the Frontier League. He's a presence at the plate. Make and model of a prototypical cleanup batter. 0-1 fastball is hit off to the left. The third baseman racing into foul ground to have a look. And it bounces out of play. Crane was 2 for 4 last night. Drove in a couple. Logged another double on the campaign. And reached base via a base on balls in his final plate appearance. Crane with a 2-strike count on him. The 0-2. And a weak little roller to first. And Mangieri will apply the tag on the batter runner Crane for the final out. Gunnar Kynes, a better first inning than his last outing last Sunday. It's a scoreless top half of the first. Evansville nothing. Southern Illinois coming to bat. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network on YouTube Live.
And keeping fit for baseball season is hard work. That's why you'll find Evan at Bob's Gym. Getting fit, having fun, being an Otter. Be like Evan. Try a free 3-day pass at Bob's.
If you're looking for a liquor store in Evansville, look no further than Liquor Locker. The Liquor Locker has the best selection at the best prices, including the largest craft beer and bourbon selection in the area. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff will help you find the beer, wine, and liquor you need for any occasion. And check out the fine selection of cigars at all Liquor Locker stores. Liquor Locker is now open Sundays 12 to 8 p.m. and offers citywide delivery. Visit one of our 10 conveniently located stores in the Evansville area today. There is always something for everyone at the Liquor Locker.
And that's why we're here. You live by what's right, and at Old National, we bank by it. Find us at oldnational.com/locations.
Cheer up, Evan. This rain will be out soon. You should download the 14 First Alert app and see for yourself. You can see what's coming up to 7 days in advance, or you can break it down hour by hour. Check out live radar so you can see what's happening in real time. And you can watch 14 News live directly from the app. See, there's nothing to worry about.
Stay in the game with the 14 First Alert app.
Welcome back to Rent One Park in Marion, Illinois. The Otters went scoreless in the top half of the first inning. Now, in the bottom half of inning number 1, the Southern Illinois Miners will step to the plate, and they will face off against the freshly unwrapped Ryan O'Reilly. The wind in the first pitch from O'Reilly, the first pitch in his professional career, is in for a strike, a fastball at 89 miles per hour. Ryan O'Reilly making his professional debut with the Evansville Otters tonight here in Marion, Illinois. The 0-1, that misses inside on the leadoff batter, Craig Massey. He bats left-handed. O'Reilly, 6'3", 205 pounds, 23 years old. The right-hander out of Makina, Illinois. Went to the University of Illinois at Chicago. The 1-1. He fires it in there. It might have missed just a tad low on Craig Massey. The count 2-1 on the second baseman for the Miners. Wind in the pitch. And a ground ball left side. Ranging over is DeJesus, but he can't make a clean play as it eats him up a little bit right around the belt. We shall see how they score that. It was hit well to DeJesus' left, but he was able to get in front of it. I think the only way they get a base hit out of that is on a hefty hometown discount, and it will be ruled an error on the shortstop, Andy DeJesus. It brings up Yeltsin Gudino, the right-handed hitting shortstop, and Maracay, Venezuela native, facing Ryan O'Reilly, who made 13 starts this season with UIC. First pitch misses in. 89 on the gun here at Rent One Park. Backs Gudino off the plate a bit. Massey, Gudino, and Mangieri. 1, 2, and 3 for the Miners. We'll go ahead and finish up that lineup right after the 1-0 from Ryan O'Reilly. And it's a line drive in left field. That's a base hit for Gudino. Runners at first and second here in the bottom of the first. Luke Mangieri will step to the plate now. He'll be followed by the designated hitter and cleanup batter, Gianfranco Wawu. Nolan Early will bat fifth, followed by Jared Mang in the sixth spot. Then 7, 8, 9 for the Miners, Ian Walters, Marshall Rich, and Anthony Brocato. As the first baseman, Luke Mangieri, left-handed batter, strolls to the plate to face Ryan O'Reilly. Second starter for the Otters to make his professional debut on the mound in 3 days. First offering from O'Reilly. He goes with the change. Gets a swing and a miss from Mangieri. Braden Scott, left-hander out of IU. Debuted for the Otters Thursday night in a dominant performance where he went 7 innings, struck out 10 batters, and allowed just 2 hits and no runs to score. And a ball gets past the backstop, Justin Felix. Missing low in the dirt. What will likely be ruled a wild pitch allows Massey to advance to third and Gudinho to second. And quickly here in the bottom of the first, the rookie O'Reilly finds himself in the thick of it. Runners at second and third, nobody out in the bottom of the first. Game scoreless. The 1-1 to Mangieri. That misses up and in. Home plate umpire in this one, Chris Dykman. Over at third, James Purnell, and usually at first, but with a runner at second and a runner at third, Andrew Oxford is now to the right of the second base bag. The 2-1. Cut on and missed. That change gets Mangieri to swing over the top of a pitch that missed in the turf. He's thrown a couple of those change-ups, and they've each looked pretty good. Now the 2-2. And there's a called third strike. He floats in that changeup once again and gets Mangieri. That's a big out, number 1 in the bottom of the first, and it is also O'Reilly's first professional punch-out. The strikeout will call Gianfranco Wawu to the plate. Right-handed batter, designated hitter. Cleanup man in the order. Runners at second and third and 1 out. First pitch to Wawu. Looks like he went with a slider there. It missed up and in. 1-0. O'Reilly throws a 2-seamer, slider, curve, and change. Prototypical pitch mix. The 1-0 to Wawu. I think he went back to that slider perhaps. This a little closer to the plate, but it stays up and in. Wawu ahead in the count, 2-0. Justin Felix, O'Reilly's backstop. Calling pitches for the rookie. 2-0. Back-to-back-to-back sliders. This one looked pretty good, but they couldn't get Wawu to offer at it, nor could they get the call from home plate umpire Chris Diekman, as it missed just off the plate. Now 3 balls and no strikes on the Miners' cleanup batter, Gianfranco Wawu. .3-0. Swinging away is Wawu, and he fouls it to the left. It was a high chopper just to the left of the third base bag. That could have been trouble if Pujols decided to fire home and try to get the leadoff batter, Massey, who's over at third, at the plate. He very well could have had a play. Runners at second and third. 1 out. The 3-1. Fastball picks up a strike on the outside edge. Went with 3 off-speed pitches to start the AB. Mixed in a 4th, then 3-1 in the count. The 89-mile-per-hour fastball, while Wu can't pull the trigger. Also likely looking for something to pull. He let the fastball in the outside corner go by him. The 3-2. He reaches out, ground ball to the left side. DeJesus working around a sliding third baseman Pujols, fires onto first and gets the out there. Meanwhile, a run comes in to score, and the Miners take a 1-0 lead on the RBI ground out from Gianfranco Wawu. Pujols had range to his left, trying to make a play. It evaded him, so he quickly went down to the seat of his pants to get out of the way of Andy DeJesus, who he had hoped would be behind him and able to make a throw, and that's exactly what happened. Yeltsin Gudino, by the way, he remains at second base. Nolan Early, left-handed hitting right fielder, stands in. First pitch. Fastball left side, grounded past the sliding shortstop. Andy DeJesus into center field. This will score a run. As Nolan Early, with a 2-out base hit to center field, gives the Miners a 2-0 lead in the bottom of the first. Got to tip your cap on that one. First pitch fastball outside part of the plate. Early, with a nice 2-out hitting approach, just reaches the bat head out and hits it back up the middle, just outside the range of the diving infielder, Andy DeJesus. Gudino scoring from second. Miners enjoying their first lead of the series. They trailed through all 9 innings last night from start to finish. They are doing to the Otters what Evansville did to Southern Illinois last night, taking a 2-run lead in the first. First pitch fastball to the right-handed hitting Jared Mang. In there for a strike. Might have gone with the cut fastball there. Possibly slider. Now the 0-1. Slider fouled back. O'Reilly jumps ahead of Mang, 0-2. O'Reilly, his professional debut, went 4-5 at the University of Illinois Chicago this season, the spring 2021 campaign. Through 13 starts. The 0-2. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Ryan O'Reilly. Overall, not the worst first inning you could think of. Allows just a couple of runs, but gets a couple of punch-outs to boot. We've played one. The Miners lead 2-0. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network on YouTube Live.
CenterPoint Energy's newest generation of safe, efficient energy includes capturing and harnessing the natural power of pure sunshine. We are increasing solar in our balanced and reliable energy mix as we power our region with more clean, renewable energy. We're bringing a little piece of the sun to every home and business while reducing carbon emissions and helping create a cleaner environment. It's just a little something for your smart energy future.
Before you danced the first dance. Before you walked down the aisle. Before the tables were set with care. Before you penned a single invitation. Before the day that went beyond your wildest expectations. There was the little green box from Brinker's Jewelers for befores and happily ever afters.
Top of the second inning from Marion, Illinois at Rent One Park. Miners leading the Evansville Otters by a 2-0 score after scoring 2. The bottom half of the first, Elijah McNamee stands in, facing Gunnar Kynes. First pitch misses in, off speed at 74. McNamee, how about a 4 RBI performance last night? Had a triple, couple of base hits. Make that 3 singles and a triple. As the 1-0 is fouled back from McNamee. He went 4 for 5 with a walk, did McNamee. The 1-1 to him misses inside. Continues a string of hot hitting for the Otters right fielder, who hit a 3-run home run Thursday night in Joliet. 2-1. He slaps it foul the other way and out of play. McNamee top 5 and on base percentage in the league. The OBP 468 for him. 2-2. Gives a big rip at the fastball. Swings underneath it just a tad and the strikeout. Gets the best of Elijah McNamee. Gunnar Kynes logs his first K of the evening. 1 down in the top of the second for Bryce Denton. Denton facing the left-hander Kynes. First pitch fastball misses out. 1-0. Denton doubled in the ballgame last night, drove in a run. One 0 off speed. Floats in a curve. Called a strike by Chris Dykman. 1 ball and 1 strike on Bryce Denton. The wind in the pitch. Underneath it. It's fouled off, back and to the right. The catcher underneath it makes the grab on the warning track behind home. That ball, plenty of backspin, as you can imagine, on a high pop-up around home. Catcher Marshall Rich able to hang with it and make the play. 2 down in the top of the second. It brings up Andrew Penner. The first pitch to the Otters' second baseman. Misses high. Penner, he went 2 for 4 last night, including a double and a walk. He has played very well as a utility man for the Otters since coming over from the Washington Wild Things. Penner in his first 10 games with the Otters as the 2-0. Off-speed pitch finds the zone, 2-1. He is 9 for 27. Two 2-1 misses out on Penner. Penner had a 4 RBI game last Sunday in Evansville. 3-1. Inside corner, gets a strike call, does Gunnar Kynes. Count now full with 2 out. On Andrew Penner, the wind and the pitch. That misses upstairs. Kynes issues a 2-out walk to Penner. Definitely not what he was hoping for there. Something about 2-out walks, they especially hurt when they come around to score. Those never leave a good taste for any pitcher. It brings up Christopher Pujols. He bats with 2 out and a runner aboard. First pitch fastball misses up and in from Gunnar Kynes. Pujols, 0 for 4 last night, did reach via a base on balls back in the 3rd inning. Throw over here, Penner back safely. The 1-0 to Pujols. Fastball called a strike, 1-1. The 1-1 is a ground ball to the left side. Little roller there for Gudinho. He tosses the short way to Craig Massey at the bag at second for the final out of the inning. 6-4 ground ball. Finishes things up in the top half of the second. Evansville nothing, Miners 2, bottom 2 coming up. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network on YouTube Live.
We love our children and want them to be healthy. After all, a healthy child can make for a happy child. When you choose Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield, you have great doctors and great care to help your child stay healthy. And that is something to smile about. Choose Anthem to help keep your children healthy and happy. Enroll today. Call 1-800-403-0864. To learn more, visit www.anthem.com/inmedicaid.
Before you danced the first dance. Before you walked down the aisle. Before the tables were set with care. Before you penned a single invitation. Before the day that went beyond your wildest expectations. There was the little green box from Brinker's Jewelers for befores and happily ever afters.
Ian Walters, Marshall Rich, and Anthony Bricado. 7-8-9 in the bottom of the second. Otters trailing the Miners by a 2-0 score. The first pitch to Walters. That misses just outside, 1-0. Riley hoping to build off a punch-out that concluded the bottom half of the first. He was able to get the best of Jared Mang, though he was touched up for a 2-out RBI single by Nolan Early. That added a run. Only one of those 2 runners, though, earned. Actually, correction to make. Both should be unearned. 2-0 the count on Walters. We'll tell you why in just a moment. Big swing and a miss there on a changeup. from Ryan O'Reilly. Well, that's because the leadoff batter, Craig Massey, reached on an error. So when he came around to score, he obviously was unearned, but Nolan Early, he drove home the Miners' second run as the 2-1 is cut on and missed, 2-2. He drove in the second run with 2 out. So you go ahead and assume that that first batter would have been an out. That's also an unearned run. Now the 2-2 to Walters. And he went off speed, missed outside. Count runs full on the left-handed hitting third baseman for the Miners, Ian Walters. Walters comes into this one 22 for his first 70. And the 3-2 misses outside. He went with the fastball. It's a leadoff walk to Walters. That's his 13th walk of the season. Walters came in hitting .314. O'Reilly being careful with him. Loses Walters to begin the bottom of the second. Here comes Marshall Rich. Throw over before the first pitch to Rich. Back safely is Ian Walters. Rich did not play in the ballgame last night. He takes over catching duties for John Cable. First offering, a fastball to Marshall Rich. It misses up and in, 1-0. Rich comes in hitting below the Mendoza line, a batting average of 196. In just his second pro ball season. He shows bunt here, and it's a pretty good one down the line at third, but it rolls foul just at the tail end. Christopher Pujols and the Otters a little lucky there. And it rolled just foul, as don't think Christopher Pujols would have had a play. Pujols over at third. On the infield, Andy DeJesus at short, Andrew Penner at second. Riley Crane at first. Felix catches Ryan O'Reilly, and an outfield you've seen a time or two before. Denton Gordon and McNamee left to right. One on its way, and a hard hit ground ball through the left side of the infield. Puts runners at first and second with nobody out. Ryan O'Reilly in his professional debut, facing Anthony Brocado now, the number 9 batter. First pitch to him. Went with a curveball. Slings it into the strike zone. 0-1, gets ahead of Brocado. Right-handed hitting center fielder. In his second pro ball season. Comes in hitting .245. Has already driven in 14 runs this season. Runners at first and second, nobody out. First pitch, comebacker to the mound. Riley on to second, and then back to first for a 1-6-3 double play. Ryan O'Reilly starting the turn. Comebacker on the mound, had to get it to his left. Gather himself and throw on to DeJesus at the bag, who had a pretty easy job once he got a hold of it. It was just a tad to DeJesus' right. Turning and firing to get Brocado. 1.63 DP. Leadoff batter, Craig Massey takes a strike. Massey reached on an error. Oh, 1 ground ball right side. Foul. That's pretty important. Massey, before he was lifted in the game for Jared Mang last night, he went 0 for 2. Massey, in his 4th year with the Miners, he slaps this one foul the other way. Massey playing in his 8th season in professional baseball. Played 2 years with the Somerset Patriots back when they were in the Atlantic League. As this is slapped foul and out of play once more. Count remains 0-2 on Massey. Oh-2. Ground ball left side. DeJesus has it. Throw on to first is good for the final out. A scoreless bottom of the second for Ryan O'Reilly. Miners still with a 2-0 lead. Top of the third coming up. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network on YouTube Live. Top of the third inning. First pitch to Justin Felix. He gives it a big rip. Behind the fastball from the left-hander Gunnar Kynes. 2-0 the score. Top of the third inning. Felix, Gordon, and DeJesus to bat. 9-1-2. The wind in the 0-1 to the right-handed hitting catcher. This is up and away with the breaking ball. 1-1. A lot of righties in the lineup tonight for the Otters. 5 in a row in the, I suppose, latter half of the lineup. 1-1. They go fastball, curveball, fastball, and Felix is behind the 87-mile-per-hour four-seamer from Gunnar Kynes. Digging back into the batter's box now is Felix. The 1-2. That's in the dirt. Lays off the curveball from Gunnar Kynes. Kynes, who in his first season in the Frontier League struck out over 100 batters in a season where he threw 112 innings. It's a pretty nice plateau for a 96-game season. Felix strikes out swinging for the first out in the top of the third. That is Kynes' second punch-out. He began the top of the second that way. That's how he begins the top of the third. It brings up Miles Gordon. Grounded out to second his first time. Otters scored 14 runs yesterday. Understandable if the bats are a little sluggish in this one. First pitch misses outside. Fastball. Gordon showed bunt. Pulled back. 1-0 on the Otters' leadoff batter in the order. The 1-0. And he lines it right to the second baseman, Craig Massey, who was playing on the edge of the outfield turf, took a few steps back and caught it just above his head. You can't hit them much harder than that. Line out for Gordon. 2 down in the top of the third. It brings up Andy DeJesus, who singled his first time up. First pitch swinging is DeJesus. Fouls it back to the netting. 0-1 on DeJesus. DeJesus, the former ISU Sycamore. Gary South Shore Railcat. 0-1 behind back-to-back fastballs from Kynes. DeJesus in a deep hole. 0-2 with 2 out. The wind of the pitch. And he hammers this one out toward left center field. No one's going to be able to get there. This will go for extra bases and bounce over the wall for a ground rule 2-out double for Andy DeJesus. Out to left center field. He took it over the red Toyota sign. Bounces onto a little rock mound out there in left center. Largest part of the yard, too. They say that's about 407 feet to the notch in left center, but he bounced it right over on one hop over the 392 mark. DeJesus aboard with a double, his second hit tonight. Brings up J.R. Davis with 2 out and a runner in scoring position. First pitch to Davis, underneath it to the right side. It looks like the first baseman, Mangieri, has a read right around the first base coaching box. He does to glove it for the final out of the third. Gunnar Kynes works around a 2-out double to Andy DeJesus. We've played 2.5. Miners with a 2-0 lead. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network on YouTube Live.
You live by what's right. It's part of who you are and what drives you to always do more, to give more. At Old National, we get it. We're the bank built on integrity and community. The bank named a world's most ethical company for the last 10 years. The bank that focuses on your financial goals every day. Because your success is everything. And that's why we're here. You live by what's right. And at Old National, we bank by it. Find us at oldnational.com/locations. Member FDIC.
bottom of the third. Yeltsin Gudinho facing Ryan O'Reilly. The first pitch, off speed at 80 miles per hour, misses in on Gudinho, who singled his first time up. Right-handed hitting shortstop for these Southern Illinois Miners, who come in with a record of 13-4 after dropping a 14-4 contest against the Otters last night. The 1-0, breaking ball is cut on and missed by Gudinho, 1-1. The slider from O'Reilly. 1-1, ground ball. Chops it off to the left. O'Reilly looking to retire the leadoff batter for the first time tonight. He had earned it in the bottom of the first, but a fielding error allowed the inning to continue. And a 1-2 is cut on and missed. They go off speed, and they get Gudinho to swing over top of the pitch on the inner third of the plate. One down in the bottom of the third. Third strikeout for Yeltsin Gudinho. It brings up Luke Mangieri. Otters down by a couple of runs. First pitch fastball from O'Reilly. Gets a called strike on the outside part of the plate. Mangieri, he struck out looking his first time. And the 0-1 is cut on and missed. O'Reilly ahead in the count, 0-2. The big wind and the pitch. Fouling it off to the left and out of play is Mangieri. O'Reilly, as he peers down, he holds the glove. Ball in hand and in glove, right underneath the letters. Brings it up right about to eye level. And winds it down below the belt and fires a fastball that misses just off the plate to Mangieri, 1-2. One-two on its way. A swing and a miss, back-to-back punch-outs for Ryan O'Reilly in the bottom of the third. Miners lead 2-0, but again, both of those runs unearned from back in the bottom of the first. The Otters, it's been pretty incredible what they've been able to do, trying to cobble a rotation together on the fly after they lost 4 of their 5 opening day starters. The first pitch to Gianfranco Wawu. Breaking ball. Big swing and a miss from the right-handed hitting designated hitter. Tyler Vale and Marty Anderson are still on the club, but they're on the injured list. 0-1 skips in the dirt, 1-1. Dalton Stambaugh was picked up by the Cubs organization. He was the Otters' opening night starter. So you know how highly they thought of him. Did the Otters. The 1-1. And this is hit well, but well foul. Off to the left. Ahead of an off-speed pitch. 1-2 on Wawu. And the Otters released left-hander Anthony Arias about 10 days ago. The wind and the 1-2. Ground ball, left side, foul. And then to somewhat increase the difficulty, the organization released Vinny Santarciero, Evansville local who had made a spot start for the Otters. They released him yesterday. As the 1-2 is fouled back, Wawu trying to battle Ryan O'Reilly, looking to strike out the side here in his professional debut. The 1-2, and just barely able to get a piece of that one. The slider from Riley is Wawu. He was well out in front, but he fouls it back, so they'll do it again. The 1-2. And that misses just a bit in. It looked like maybe the half swing from Wawu, or the load and the force that it took to hold off, got him a little bit off balance at the plate. Choking up on the bat, crouching down at the plate. The 2-2 is line foul of third. Wawu not making it easy on the Otters' right-handed rookie in his professional debut, Ryan O'Reilly. Another 2-2. High chopper to third. Back a step is Pujols. Double clutch on to first for the final out of the inning. A 1-2-3 bottom of the third for Ryan O'Reilly. We've played a third of this one. Miners with a 2-0 lead. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network on YouTube Live.
CenterPoint Energy's newest generation of safe, efficient energy includes capturing and harnessing the natural power of pure sunshine. We are increasing solar in our balanced and reliable energy mix as we power our region with more clean, renewable energy. We're bringing a little piece of the sun to every home and business while reducing carbon emissions and helping create a cleaner environment. It's just a little something for your smart energy future.
First pitch to Riley Crane. Called strike on the outside part of the plate. Can't be the easiest thing in the world for left-handed hitter like Riley Crane to go up against such a usually dominant arm as Gunnar Kynes. Also left-hander. Crane grounded out to first. His first time up. The 0-2 is ripped to the right side. Through the infield. into right for a base hit. Riley Crane, he's heating back up at the plate. He had struggled a little bit for nothing more than a handful of games, you might say. I mean, truly, it might have been only 2 or 3. And what seems to be so impressive about Crane at the plate is while playing every day, again, this is the Otters' 28th game, as it is Crane's. The first pitch now to McNamee. In there at 86, 0-1. Crane seems to know how to make those necessary adjustments to always punch himself back out of a slump. High fly ball out toward left, looking up, and a 2-run bomb for Elijah McNamee. Ties the game in the top of the 4th. That ball was hit into the stratosphere. And it carried out. It was going to be a question of fair or foul. The left fielder, Jared Mang, just turned around and watched it fly out of here. Elijah McNamee is on some kind of a tear right now. That's his second home run in 3 games. Third home run this week. He drove in 4 last night. Has driven in 2 tonight as McNamee swings through a strike. And drove in 3 Thursday. So already 9 ribbies in 3 games, and we're only in the top of the 4th. And that runs in and gets a piece of Denton. 86, the fastball from Kynes. Runner at first, nobody out. Ball game tied at 2. And this is a little bit of a curious sight. It's Mike Pinto, the Miners manager, on to talk with his pitcher. And he's a little animated, it looks like, out there. So that's not something you see every day. Well, you've got a pitching coach in there that can make the visit. And it wasn't like the entire infield came in to have a chat. It was just a talk between the catcher, Rich, and the runner goes. The pitch is a called strike. The throwdown gets by the second baseman, Craig Massey, and trickles into center field, but not too far for Gudinho. In at second base with a stolen bag is Bryce Denton. We'll have a moment here as Bryce Denton is getting a look from his manager, Andy McCauley, and now athletic trainer, Sarah Zirk. Looks like he might have brushed something up, maybe on the head first slide into second. He will go ahead and send Sarah Zirk and Andy McCauley back to the dugout. It brings up Andrew Penner, who walked his first time. He's got a runner in scoring position and nobody out. First pitch in the dirt and blocked by Marshall Rich. Two-two score in the top of the fourth, thanks to Elijah McNamee's two-run homer. Here it comes. It's in there for a strike. 1-1. The 1-2 missed out. Step off here. Denton back safely. As there's no one even covering, so of course he is. Foul this off to the right. Backing out of play. Kynes, he snapped at the toss from his catcher, Marshall Rich. Maybe a little upset, thought he missed a spot there. And the 2-2. Reaches out, fouls it to the right, does Penner. Penner, who was playing for the championship winning Frontier League's River City, there it is, River City Rascals in 2019 as the 2-2 misses in, where he hit .282 through 90 games, clubbing 15 doubles and driving in 45 runs. 3-2 is a liner out toward third. To his left, Walters. The third baseman gloves it for the first out on a soft liner. From Penner, it brings up Christopher Pujols. He grounded into his 6'4" fielder's choice to end the second. Back in his first time up. Batting with a runner at second, one out. Pujols, who spent 4 years in the Mets organization. Last played for the Kingsport Mets back in 2019 in the Appalachian League. Off speed goes Kynes, swing and a miss from Pujols. '23-year-old third baseman. And he's not able to catch up with an 88-mile-per-hour fastball from Kynes. It was in the outside part of the plate. Looked like Pujols was also pulling off of it just a tad. See if he can make a little adjustment. The 1-2. And he hits this in the air to the right side, out of play. Good little bit of distance. It one hops a patio deck out in right. Count remains 1-2. One-two ripped to the third baseman, Ian Walters, who reaches up and throws a glove out, taking away what would have been extra bases and a go-ahead run for the Otters here in the top of the fourth. Back-to-back lineouts to third. The liner from Pujols. A much more difficult play. We shall see if fortune evens out. That is Justin Felix. Strolls to the plate. Runner at second. 2 out. First pitch misses inside by just a hair on Felix. Felix, he struck out in his first at bat. Kynes will step off. He wants his signs again. The 1-0. Felix not picking up that one. He swings through it. Fastball, outer part of the plate. 1-1. A 1-1, they go back to the same location. Felix maybe pulling off of it just a little bit. He swings through it. He's behind in the count, 1-2. One-two fastball misses just off the plate outside. Felix hanging in there, 2-2. Runner at second, 2 out, the 2-2 to Felix. And a swing and a miss. Gunnar Kynes gets Felix for the second time tonight to conclude the top of the fourth. But the Otters add a couple of runs thanks to the Elijah McNamee home run. We're now tied at 2, bottom 4 coming up. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network on YouTube Live. Bottom of the fourth, Nolan Early facing Ryan O'Reilly in a tie ball game. 2-2 in the bottom of the fourth, thanks to Elijah Big Hit McNamee, who homered to left. Just a half inning ago, Ryan O'Reilly missing outside the first 2 pitches to Nolan Early, who singled in his first AB back in the first. Bottom four, 2-2 score. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network on YouTube Live. Ryan O'Reilly, professional debut, the 2-0, grounded to second. Andrew Penner on to first, and so far that pro debut, not too shabby. He's allowed just 2 unearned runs through his first 3 1/3 innings, thanks to the ground out from Nolan Early. He's now gotten 5 in a row. You could consider it 6 if you take a look at that Anthony Bricado double play ball back in the second. Since that double play ball, he's gotten the 1 through 5 batters out in order. Here's Jared Mang, who O'Reilly struck out in his first at-bat. Slider from O'Reilly in there for a strike, 1-1 on the Miners left fielder Mang. This is hit well out toward right center field. That will get into the gap for extra bases. It takes one hop and bounces over the right center field wall right above the 375 sign for a one-out ground rule double by Jared Mang. Brings up Ian Walters. Walters was 1 for 4 last night. He drove in one of the Miners' 4 runs. He also struck out a couple of times. He walked in his first plate appearance back in the second. O'Reilly looking to keep this game tied. First pitch fastball, he gets ahead of Walters. 0-1. With a runner in scoring position following an early double from Jared Mang. Early in the count, you know that's something that pitching coach Max Peterson has to like to see. Out of O'Reilly in his pro debut as he picks up another strike. The 88-mile-per-hour fastball really popping the leather of the catcher Felix. He's ahead 0-2. What's the best way to keep a runner in scoring position from scoring? How about get ahead of the next guy? The 0-2. He gives it a big rip, but overpowers Ian Walters with a fastball. Does Ryan O'Reilly. Now 2 down. It's an interesting perspective that you would get to hear from a veteran presence like John Schultz in the Otters clubhouse. Schultz, like many veterans and by osmosis, the players around them are big believers in momentum in a ball game. And how momentum can shift from inning to inning. And you can carry the energy and enthusiasm from one half inning where you're playing in the field to the next when you're at bat, or vice versa. Marshall Rich facing Ryan O'Reilly. The first pitch missed inside the fastball. The 1-0 is in there. Catches the outer half of the plate. 1-1. So in a fourth inning, where the Otters tied the game on a 2-run homer from Elijah McNamee in the top half, that would be a very big run in the form of Jared Mang to strand at second base and keep this game tied going into the top of the fifth. Fastball misses up 2-1 if you're a believer in that momentum theory. But Marshall Rich who singled in his last at bat. He's ahead in the count, facing Ryan O'Reilly. 2-1. Pitch home. And he fires in a fastball. It misses inside, maybe high. Rich ahead in the count. 3 balls and 1 strike. The 3-1. And that misses inside for ball 4. Well, they had a free base to the number 8 batter, Marshall Rich, with 2 out and only a runner at second. So that will bring up the number 9 man, Anthony Bricado, who grounded into a double play his last time. There are runners at first and second with 2 out. First pitch to Bricado, slider, swing and a miss. Bricado, this his 11th AB with runners in scoring position. He was up in a similar situation back in the bottom of the second. And a fastball at 87 catches the outside edge, 0-2. And that at bat, with 1 out though, Bricado grounded into a double play. How about with runners in scoring position and 2 out, Bricado, 4 for 9 this season. Has not been an easy out in these scenarios. 0-2, blocked in the dirt. They'll appeal down to the first base umpire, Andrew Oxford, no swing. Tried to bounce a breaking ball. They can't get Bricado to offer. Let's see what they go with here. The 1-2. Ground ball chopper foul. Bat boy in front of the Otters dugout makes the play. Count remains 1-2. O'Reilly that is, also looking to put up back-to-back-to-back scoreless frames. The pitch, swing and a miss for strike 3. Ryan O'Reilly leaves a go-ahead run stranded at second with 2 out. As we head to the top of the 5th inning, the Otters still are tied with the Miners. They scored 2 their last inning. They're looking to add on and keep this rally going inning to inning. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network on YouTube Live.
You live by what's right. It's part of who you are and what drives you to always do more, to give more. At Old National, we get it. We're the bank built on integrity and community. The bank named a world's most ethical company for the last 10 years. The bank that focuses on your financial goals every day. Because your success is everything. And that's why we're here. You live by what's right. And at Old National, we bank by it. Find us at oldnational.com/locations. Member FDIC.
Miles Gordon bats in the top of the fifth. The first pitch from Gunnar Kynes misses outside, 1-0. Kynes wants a rewind from the inning prior. Had a 2-run lead, copped it up with a long ball. He goes back to that outside part of the plate again with the fastball. This time he gets a strike called, 1-1 on the Otters' leadoff batter, Miles Gordon. The 1-1. That misses up and away. Gordon, he lined out to second. His last time, it will be Miles Gordon, Andy DeJesus, and J.R. Davis. 1-2-3. Ground ball to the right side. Foul. Kynes, you know, he struggled in that last outing. Only made it an inning. Now he's looking to get through 5. Game tied at 2. And a called third strike. The fastball locks up Gordon at the knees. 1 down in the top of the 5th. It brings up Andy DeJesus. He's 2 for 2. He doubled in the 3rd. He was down 0-2 in that at bat. Then hit a ground rule double to the largest part of the yard. First pitch, way underneath it. Catcher Rich racing back, and he will watch it bounce into the grandstands behind home. 0-1.0-1. Fastball misses high to DeJesus. DeJesus, a little bit of a hit machine. You know he came into tonight's game top 5 in the league in hits. He slashes this one back. Foul. The switch hitter DeJesus, who bats from the right side of the plate, facing Gunnar Kynes, the lefty. Time called at the plate by DeJesus. The Otters, though, they've got somewhat of a little advantage against lefties, you could think of it, when they take on-field BP. The 1-2 popped up, back out of play. Because not only does hitting coach Bobby Siegel throw these hitters some BP fastballs ahead of their ball games when they take batting practice on field, but so too does pitching coach Max Peterson from the left side as the 1-2's in the dirt, 2-2. And also bench coach Boots Day. They're both lefties, and they will often, usually, switch things around and throw to these hitters from the left side, whether or not a lefty is on the mound. Off-speed pitch is cut on and missed by DeJesus. Back-to-back Ks for Gunnar Kynes. That is his 5th. And if you go back to the top of the 4th inning, he's gotten 3 in a row. Here comes J.R. Davis. He's 0 for 2 with a couple pop-outs. First pitch fastball up and away. 1-0 on the Otters' designated hitter, J.R. Davis. One 0 off speed, taken into the right center field gap. This will be extra bases for J.R. Davis. It bounces against the wall, and the right fielder, Nolan Early, has just gotten to it. So in at second base with a stand-up 2-out double is J.R. Davis. Nice work there from Davis, making sure Kynes doesn't get into any kind of a rhythm in these middle innings. He has not had a 1-2-3 inning yet tonight. And J.R. Davis ensures that trend continues, and he gives Riley Crane an opportunity to bat with a runner in scoring position. First pitch, he grounds it foul to the right side. 0-1 on Crane, who led off the fourth inning with a base hit of his own to right field. It was followed by an Elijah McNamee two-run homer. McNamee lies waiting in the wings on deck. Crane had a couple more RBIs last night. He's second in the league with 29. A little half-hearted swing there. They'll appeal down as the pitch missed outside to third base umpire James Purnell over around second, though, with Davis aboard and 2 out. He says no swing. Count even 1-1. Kynes set. The 1-1 high. And that fastball at 88 looked like it might have come in right around the letters. It might have been off the plate, but a lot of movement from the catcher, Rich. Looking like he was trying to frame it into the strike zone. The 2-1 to Crane, and he gives it a big rip. The fastball outer part of the plate. He can't come up with it, though. Count now 2-2 on the Otters cleanup batter, Riley Crane. 2-2, high heat. Gets Crane, who swings through it. Gunnar Kynes able to leave J.R. Davis stranded at second following the 2-out double. He ends up striking out the side, picking up his 6th strikeout as we head to bottom of inning number 5. 2-2 still our score. Ryan O'Reilly will take the hill again. In what is his professional debut, he has not yet allowed an earned run. 2-2 the score. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network on YouTube Live. Well, the Otters will elect to bring on a new arm in the bottom of the 5th, bringing an end to Ryan O'Reilly's professional debut. Samson Abernathy faces Craig Massey, Yeltsin Gudinho, and Luke Mangieri. 1-2-3. The first pitch from Samson Abernathy. Off speed, it misses low to Massey, who is 0 for 2. A couple of ground balls to short. He did reach, though, in the bottom of the first, on an error. The 1-0 pitch from Abernathy, called a strike in the outside part of the plate. A fine debut for Ryan O'Reilly, who went 4 innings, did not allow an earned run, allowed 4 hits, issued 2 walks, and struck out 6. As the 1-1 misses. Fastball at 88 from Abernathy. Two-1 is hit out towards center field, but it will carry for Miles Gordon to range over to his left and make the grab in right center. 1 batter, 1 out for Samson Abernathy. Makes his 8th appearance of the season. Coming into this one, he's thrown 8 1/3, allowed 10 hits, 5 runs, 4 of them earned. He's issued 6 walks and struck out 13 in those 8 and now 2/3 innings. Sports a 1-0 record, 432 earned run average. Facing Yeltsin Gudinho. Looked like a slider. Gudinho fouled it off to the right. Gudinho 1 for 2. He struck out his last time. One of the 6 men retired via the K by Ryan O'Reilly, making his professional debut. Game tied at 2 in the bottom of the 5th. The 0-1. Fastball. Abernathy picks up a strike, 0-2. Abernathy, acquired by the Otters from the Sioux City Explorers. 0-2. Throws the heater by him. Cut on and missed for the second out. It brings up Luke Mangieri, trying to avoid the hat trick in his 3rd AB. Struck out looking in the 1st, swinging in the 3rd. He bats with 2 out in the bottom of the 5th. Abernathy comes set around the belt. First pitch fastball grounded to the right side. Playing on the edge of the outfield turf was Penner. He comes in to field it to his left and throw on to first for the final out of the 5th. A 1-2-3 inning for Samson Abernathy. We're still tied at 2. Top of the 6th coming up. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network on YouTube Live.
Looking to buy a new home? At a Sweet Home Credit Union and get a great low rate, plus get $500 cash back. That's right. Get a great low rate on your mortgage loan and get $500 cash back. Apply at Heritage Federal Credit Union, where the mortgage loans are sweet and the service can't be beat. Get your $500 cash back today at your local HFCU branch or apply online at hfcu.info/mortgages.
First pitch to Elijah McNamee. At the top of the sixth, misses outside. McNamee, a two-run homer, his last time. To this point, the Otters' only offense. Game tied at 2. Top of the sixth. The 1-0 cut on and missed by McNamee, who went down almost to a knee to try and golf a low outside pitch from Gunnar Kynes. The 1-1 misses upstairs, 2-1. McNamee had 3 ribbies Thursday night with a home run. Had 4 last night, and then 2 again this evening. As the 2-1 is fouled off to the right and out of play, 2-2. McNamee, you get the feeling, as fun a personality he is to have in your clubhouse and around the ballpark. Fans love him. Good chance he won't be around here for much longer. The 2-2 fouled back to the netting. Seems to have the makeup of just about everything you want in a ball player. Can hit for average. He's starting to put together a little bit of a power stroke that we've seen in the last couple of weeks. Good defender, strong arm, great speed. The 2-2 misses out. You know, he's also played at a high level of competition before. Down at Mississippi State. Seemed like the only thing that might have been missing, or you were waiting for, a better way to put that. 3-2, hit out towards center field, just got a bit underneath it. Underneath it is Anthony Bricado to make the catch, 1 down. But a really good chance that Elijah McNamee, you would think, would start drawing some affiliated interest pretty soon. Bryce Denton was hit by pitches last time. Also stole second. He bats with 1 out. The top of the 6th. Facing Gunnar Kynes. First pitch fastball misses out. 89 on the gun from Kynes. Kynes, the Myrtle Beach, South Carolina native. The 1-0 misses in. Now a 5-year veteran after this season of the Frontier League. The 2-0 to Denton. Foul tipped into the catcher Rich's glove. Denton in his first season in the Frontier League, after spending his entire pro career before this season in the Cardinals organization. The 2-1 misses up and away. 3 balls and 1 strike on Denton. The wind and 3-1. It's a high pop. Foul ground behind home. Right around the left-handed batter's box. Marshall Rich makes the catch. Big pop out for out number 2. And foul ground, it brings up Andrew Penner, who walked in the second. Hit a soft liner to third. His last time up. That was back in the top of the 4th inning. And he grounds the first pitch he sees, weakly to the shortstop. Yeltsin Gudino throws on to first. And a 1-2-3 inning for Gunnar Kynes, his first of the ball game. Bottom of the 6th coming up. 2-2 the score. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network and YouTube Live. Bottom of the 6th, 2-2 ball game in Marion, Illinois. The first pitch from Samson Abernathy is bounced on the turf to Gianfranco Wawu. Cleanup batter and designated hitter for the Southern Illinois Miners. He'll be followed by Nolan Early and Jared Mang. And a half-hearted swing on a breaking ball. There's a full swing in the eyes of home plate umpire Chris Dykman. Though Gianfranco Wawu, not something you see all the time, had asked for an appeal down to first, almost to prove his case. The 1-1. And he's behind, swinging over the top of as well. A breaking ball there at 83. It was a late decision to swing. Wawu, he's 0 for 2. Couple of ground balls through his first 2 ABs. They've gotten him to roll over twice. He's down on the count 1-2, so let's see if the breaking ball is what's ordered up again. The 1-2. And they go fastball, it looks like. 85 said the gun. Outside part of the plate. Good chance they tried to come back with a two-seamer. Started outside, have it work back toward the plate. It misses just off. Count even. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Wawu. The 2-2 misses low and skips to the backstop. Count moves full on Wawu. The 3-2 from Abernathy. And he picks up a called third strike on the fastball outside part of the plate. 1 down in the bottom of the 6th. It brings up Nolan Early as Abernathy has taken care of the first 4 batters he's faced. Pitch to 1-2-3, bottom of the 5th. He now faces Nolan Early, who's 1 for 2. Only 2 runs of the game that the Miners have scored. First pitch, and therefore a strike 0-1 as Early showed bunt but pulled back. Brought the third baseman Pujols crashing in. Only 2 runs scored by the Miners thus far unearned back in the first. Early drove one of them in. He pulls out in front of a fastball on the outside part of the plate. Can't get any wood on it. Early down in the count now, 0-2. The 0-2 to Early. Looked like a little slider that missed off the plate. Tried to backdoor it. Facing the veteran Nolan Early in his 8th professional season and his 4th campaign, that is, with the Miners. 1-2, grounder right side. Early also a 3-year veteran of the White Sox organization, who drafted him back in 2013 in the 22nd round. Abernathy. He's got a 1-2 count on Early. Fastball misses up and away at 89. Got to imagine that radar gun has to be measuring these pitches out of the hand as opposed to coming across the plate. The 2-2. Floats up and away with an off-speed pitch. To move the count full on Early. Count was full on Wahoo. First batter, this bottom of the 6th. Abernathy managed to punch him out looking. See if he can do the same to Early, the 3-2. And there's a called third strike. 86 on the gun. Outside part of the plate, back-to-back punch-outs looking for Samson Abernathy. And there are 2 down in the bottom of the 6th. Jared Mang, he doubled his last time. That was back in the 4th inning. Miners signed him out of the California Winter League in 2021. Earlier this year. First pitch misses up and in. Mang spent half of the 2019 season in the Tigers organization after they drafted him in the 18th round. The 1-0. Breaking ball fouled off to the right, back and out of play. Mang came in 21 for 73, playing in his 21st game, a batting average of .288 entering play. The 1-1. Another foul ball, again off to the right. Back up onto the main concourse here. At Rentwood Park as the light standards begin to take effect. As the sun prepares to set, overcast skies now have rolled in. At dusk, 1-2, 2 out. And a fly ball out toward left center field. Over is Gordon. Center fielder makes the catch out in left center for a 1-2-3, bottom of the 6th. Samson Abernathy, 6 up, 6 down, 2 innings out of the pen. Top of the 7th on its way. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network and a 2-2 ball game on YouTube Live. Blake Steltzer out of the Miners bullpen in the top of the 7th. Faces Christopher Pujols, Justin Felix, and Miles Gordon. First pitch to Pujols. He fouls it off into the stands behind third. First pitch from Steltzer, who relieves Gunnar Kynes, who went 6 innings. Allowed 2 runs, both earned on the Elijah McNamee homer. He struck out 6 Otters, walked 1, allowed 5 hits. The 0-1 fastball outside part of the plate at 90 from Steltzer. 0-2 now on Pujols. Steltzer into his 6th game of the year. The 0-2 fastball misses off the outer edge. Enters with a 108 earned run average. He's thrown 8 1/3, allowed just 2 hits, only 1 run, walked 1, and struck out 9. Ground ball to the left side. Shortstop playing it back. Godinho, the throw to first, skips in to Luke Mangieri, who handles it. And that turf, it can be a big help, as the throw does beat Pujols to the bag. 6-3 ground ball. 1 down in the top of the 7th. Here comes Justin Felix. Steltzer, the right-hander, stands at 6'3". First pitch to Felix. Gets ahead with that good fastball, 0-1. 25-year-old Lakeville, Minnesota native. Pitched at Concordia University last year in the shortened season. The 0-1 misses low to Felix. Took a little something off of that one. 87 on the gun. Possibly a little cutter from Steltzer. The 1-1. Called a strike by home plate umpire Chris Dykman on the outer part of the plate. Felix, he's 0 for 2. Batting in a 2-2 tie game. The 1-2 misses off the plate. A little body language from Steltzer. He seemed to pivot after the pitch smacked the catcher Rich's glove toward first to do the good old-fashioned walk around the pitcher's mound. Now the 2-2, and a swing and a miss. Now he can do that saunter around the rubber, as the Miners will throw around the horn. 2 down in the top of the 7th. It brings up Miles Gordon, who will try to start a little 2-out rally. First pitch fastball misses low. 92 says the radar gun. The 1-0 off speed fools Gordon. He swings through it for the first strike. They go back to the fastball. Gordon fouls it off at the plate. He's now in the hole, 1-2. Gordon 0 for 3, though he has lined out to second. The 1-2. And with the change, they get Gordon to swing through the 1-2 pitch. Back-to-back punch-outs for Blake Steltzer in the top of the 7th. We're still tied 2 apiece all around. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network on YouTube Live. Tyler Spring is on to pitch out of the Otters bullpen in the bottom of the 7th. No better arm out of the bullpen in the Frontier League to this point in the season. He's making his league-leading 14th appearance on the mound. He faces Ian Walters, Marshall Rich, and Anthony Brocato. The first pitch is cut on and missed from Spring by Walters. 90 on the gun. Outside part of the plate, he can't catch up. Spring, his 14th appearance through his 13 previous appearances, as this is hit to the left side in foul territory to Jesus. Is able to make the play and foul ground to the left of the left field line by the warning track for the first out. He's able to take charge as Pujols and Denton were converging. So now Spring has, through 19 square innings after that out, kept opponents scoreless in terms of earned run average. First pitch to Marshall Rich. He's behind a 90-mile-an-hour fastball from Spring, 0-1. Scoreless inning streak up to 19 for Spring. He's allowed just 8 hits and 8 walks in that span, while striking out 22. The 0-1 to Rich. Slider up and away. 1-1 the count on the Miners' catcher. 2-2 the score. Bottom of the 7th. The 1-1 is fouled back. The game was started by Ryan O'Reilly making his big league debut. He went 4 innings. He did not allow an earned run. The 2 that scored in the bottom of the 1st, both thanks to an error. Hard hit fly ball out toward right. Back and approaching the track is McNamee. He has it over his shoulder for the second out. Hard hit ball by Rich. Problem was he hit it toward Elijah McNamee. It brings up Anthony Brocato, who's 0 for 2. Brocato struck out his last time. First pitch from Spring is a strike. Slider started inside. Broke out over the plate. The 0-1. They go back to that same pitch. They get ahead on Brocato, 0-2. Man, he's got to be thinking that's not fair. What am I supposed to do with that pitch? Brocato down 0-2 with 2 out in a tie game in the bottom of the 7th. The pitch on its way. He takes it out toward right center. Does Gordon have a read? Racing over. He does on the run. Into the gap. Gordon makes the catch. There might not be anybody better out there in the Frontier League in the outfield than Miles Gordon. It's fun to watch him play. A 1-2-3 inning for Tyler Spring out of the bullpen in the bottom of the 7th. 2-2 is our score still in Marion. Top of the 8th coming up. Let's see if the Otters can change all that. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network on YouTube Live. Top of the 8th inning. 2-2 the score in Marion, Illinois from Rent One Park. The Otters trying to take game 2 of this 3-game weekend set. They won last night by a score of 14-4. Tonight, runs at a much higher premium. Andy DeJesus, J.R. Davis, and Riley Crane will bat 2, 3, and 4 in the top of the 8th. Nice part of the lineup to try to break this tie game. The first pitch to Andy DeJesus. Misses outside the 89-mile-per-hour fastball from a new pitcher. That is Ryan Miller on the mound now for the Miners. Ryan Miller in his 10th game sports a 1-0 record, 3.27 earned run average, relieving Blake Steltzer. The 1-0, 93 fouled back to the netting. Steltzer, he pitched a 1-2-3, top half of the 7th. Mike Pinto and the Miners looking to go with a new arm here. Those Steltzer look good. They want to do it big league style, 7, 8, 9. Each a different pitcher. This is hit as a little blooper out towards no man's land. It will fall in fair territory down the left field line, and into second base slides Andy DeJesus safely with a leadoff double in the top of the 8th. Yeah, we got a little something cooking. Go ahead and fire up the grill. J.R. Davis will be looking for a ribeye. Davis doubled his last time. Hit a shot out toward right center field. Go ahead run in scoring position in the top of the 8th. The first pitch fouled off to Jesus at the plate as the ball rolled toward the pitcher's mound. Otters looking to serve a loss to the Miners bullpen. Overall, a pitching staff that ahead of last night's game when the Otters scored 14 runs off the Miners pitchers and their arms between Michael Austin and Alex Brinkman, as the 0-1 is cut on and missed, the fastball 0-2. The Miners had the best team earned run average in the Frontier League. But last night's rout put them into second in terms of league pitching, behind the Washington Wild Things. The 0-2 going down to a knee is Davis as he swings past a 93-mile-per-hour fastball. One down in the top of the 8th. Ryan Miller thrown 11 innings entering play, where he allowed 9 runs. He struck out 15 through those 9, now 16 through 9 in the 3rd. The first pitch to Riley Crane, the cleanup man, misses low and outside. Crane, he's 1 for 3. Singled and scored a run in the 4th. Potentially his 30th ribeye of the season, out in scoring position. Underneath it, out toward left. Mang has a read. 2 hands, he makes the catch. 2 down now in the top of the 8th. As Ryan Miller tries to work around a 2-out double. Excuse me, a leadoff double. There are now 2 out. As Elijah McNamee steps to the plate. Big hit Mac, whose 2-run homer, how about the only earned runs driven in by either side? The first pitch, DeJesus breaks for third. The throw down is high. DeJesus in at third base with a stolen bag. He's 90 feet away with 2 out. Now you might be thinking, typically, at the big league level, you wouldn't see something like that, where it's much less frequent to see a wild pitch, but there are plenty still thrown here in the minor leagues. The 1-0. And that fastball is a called strike, 90 on the gun to McNamee. The count now 1-1. McNamee looking to give the Otters a lead with that go-ahead run just 90 feet away. There are 2 out. The 1-1, ground ball to the right side. Miller's going to get out of this one. Second baseman Craig Massey has it and easily tosses on to Mangieri. Go-ahead run stranded 90 feet away. We head to the bottom of the 8th. 2-2 our score. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network on YouTube Live.
Looking to buy a new home? We've got a sweet deal for you. Get a home sweet home mortgage loan from Heritage Federal Credit Union and get a great low rate, plus get $500 cash back. That's right. Get a great low rate on your mortgage loan and get $500 cash back. Apply at Heritage Federal Credit Union, where the mortgage loans are sweet and the service can't be beat. Get your $500 cash back today at your local HFCU branch or apply online at hfcu.info/mortgages.
Two-two ball game. Bottom of the 8th, Tyler Spring worked a 1-2-3 7th. He will try to be just as good here as he faces Craig Massey, Yeltsin Gudino, and Luke Mangieri. The first pitch to Massey. He fouls it back. Spring, Wiggins, Mississippi native. All reliable out of the pen. The 0-1 breaking ball, the slider, that got into Massey's kitchen. And he offered a little half swing almost in self-defense. But he fouls it at the plate, 0-2. Spring wrapped up his collegiate career at Southern Mississippi after pitching for Mississippi State. As the 0-2 fastball misses in by just a touch. So it's a really good chance that they had frozen Craig Massey. He was at the mercy of home plate umpire Chris Dykman. And before Mississippi State, Spring attended Jones College. A liner out to the hot corner at third. No problem for Pujols, who reins it in for the first out. Some hard-hit balls off of Spring so far have been tracked down. McNamee went back to make a grab approaching the warning track. Miles Gordon made a catch on the run out toward right center field. Now the first pitch to Gudinho. Misses inside with the slider, 1-0. And the 1-0 slider. Good for a strike there. 1-1. One fastball misses high at 92. Gudinho is 1 for 3. Last two at bats, 2 strikeouts for Gudinho. And he reaches out on a slider, hits a comebacker to Spring. A few steps to his left, he tosses underhand to Riley Crane at the bag. 1-3 ground ball. Quickly 2 are down in the bottom of the 8th. Well, the Otters are going to want to take that lead in the top half of the 9th, and you know why. Not only do you want to avoid the possibility that the Miners would walk it off in the bottom of the 9th, you don't want to have to play for the best case scenario being that international tiebreaker rule. First pitch, a strike on Luke Mangieri. He's 0 for 3. The Otters played international tiebreaker ball last Wednesday night in Joliet. The 0-1, and that's a line drive into left. There's a 2-out hit for Luke Mangieri. Now 1 for 4. It brings up Gianfranco Wawu. Again, a little bit of hard contact against Spring. Looks like they went with a breaking ball, as the radar gun read 76. If that's the case, that would be pretty impressive for Mangieri in the count to wait out a breaking ball and go the other way with it. So, a little bit of skepticism there. The first pitch misses inside to Gianfranco Wawu. The 1-0 bender called a strike on the outside part of the plate. 1-1. Spring, that good slider. Spring facing Wawu. And a half-hearted hack at the slider on the inside part of the plate. It's a called strike regardless. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Wawu. Go ahead run at first. In the bottom of the 8th. 2-2 ball game. 2 out. And the 1-2 from Spring. They go back to that slider. It misses up and in. Count even 2 apiece. Wawu came in 2 for 16 with his young club. The 2-2. That misses high. Slider, slider, slider. This time up and in. And that will put the runner at first in motion with 2 out. And a full count on Wawu. Spring set. The 3-2. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Tyler Spring sends it to the top of the 9th. The game still tied. 2 apiece between the Otters and the Miners. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network. Top of the 9th coming up. Otters looking to take the lead and swipe a victory Oh, yeah. Snag or swipe. And if they do, they'd be leaving with a little bit of swag. Yeah, there you go. Top 9 coming up. 2-2 the score. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network on YouTube Live. Top of the 9th inning. A 2-2 game in Marion, Illinois. Otters going to see if they can swipe this one from the Miners. They trailed 2-0 after the bottom of the first. And since then, all zeros for the Miners. The Otters tied it up in the top of the fourth thanks to a 2-run home run from Elijah McNamee. Bryce Denton will bat. He takes a breaking ball for a strike from the newly entered Joey Pulido on the mound. Denton will be followed by Andrew Penner and Christopher Pujols, 6, 7, and 8 in the top of the 9th. The 0-1. And he swings through that back-to-back breaking ball, 0-2. Pulido, 5'10", 185 pounds, 25 years old, out of Clute, Texas. Last played for the New Hampshire Fisher Cats back in 2019. Double-A Toronto. The 0-2 fouls it off to the right and out of play. Denton stays alive for Pulido on the mound. He's entering into his 12th game. He has an 0-1 record, a .314 earned run average. He's pitched 14 1/3. He's earned a save. He's allowed 10 hits, 5 runs all earned, with 18 punch-outs and 5 walks. Denton in the hole, 0-2. Fastball at 91 misses outside. Catcher Marshall Rich grabbing that one with the last 2 inches of leather. Pulido has allowed a couple of big flies. 1-2 ground ball back up over the second base bag into center field on a 1-2 count. Bryce Denton hangs with a 91-mile-per-hour fastball and shoots it right back from whence it came. He's aboard, the leadoff batter in the top of the 9th. Now Denton's got decent speed. Andrew Penner, the second baseman and utility man, bats. You could get a little tricky here. They'll throw over. The Miners thinking the same thing. Denton back standing. He had only gotten about a foot off the bag before Polito paid him some attention. Big hole on the right side for Penner. He shows bunt, and he doesn't get it down. 0-1. Can't imagine it's all that easy to get a bunt down when right-hander Polito throws in the low 90s. Third baseman playing in tight. The 0-1. And he slashes it foul. Now Penner will have to battle, as did Denton, down 0-2. Another throw over, again, Denton back standing. Polito facing Penner. The 0-2. And a liner into center field past the diving shortstop, Yeltsin Gudino. Runners at first and second with nobody out. The two-strike approach helping the Otters to put runners at first and second with nobody out. Again, trying to pick up their 21st win of the season. To do that, you've got to have a lead. That ball game right now tied at 2. The go-ahead run is in scoring position with nobody out. Christopher Pujols comes to the plate. Penner had showed bunt when Denton stood at first, and he had tried to get a bunt down. He had not been able to. You wonder if they will do the same thing. Now the go-ahead in second. And Pujols does show bunt, but he fouls it back, 0-1. Trying to get the runner, Denton, over to third with less than 2 out. They'll show bunt again. And pulling back and swinging away is Pujols. He's down on the count now, 0-2. Step off here. They're going to check Denton back to the second base bag. Oh, 2 ground ball. Uh-oh. Shovel to second, over to first, and in time to get Pujols, they say. 6-4-3 double play, and Andy McCauley, the manager from the third base coaching box, is going to head over to ask Andrew Oxford, I'm sure, to take a second look at that. (6-4-3) the ground ball. Gudino to Massey to Mangieri. And they will not be taking a look at this. The umpires will remain where they are as pitching coach Eric Minshaw, in his first season with the Miners, is on The pitching mound, that's a little hard to believe. At this level, I don't know that it is often, to say the least, that you see an umpire on a close play decline, as we assume that that was the request made. Again, no way to confirm that. But to have them not look at that is a little out of the ordinary through the first 27 games this season. But John Schultz will try to make it a moot point. Go-ahead run at third as he pinch hits for Justin Felix. 2 out. First pitch to Schultz. Half swing, but a called strike by home plate umpire Chris Dykman. John Schultz batting with a go-ahead run at third. The 0-1, he takes it out to center field, but it will hang up for Anthony Braccato to make the catch. Bottom of the ninth coming up. Otters will have to keep it tied if they want to win and send it to an international tiebreaker rule extra inning. 2-2 our score. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network on YouTube Live.